UNTV News and Rescue.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Monday, August 8, 2016. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the globe. I'm Angelo Castro III.
We are here to give you carefully gathered stories, assuring you of accurate, truthful, and balanced newscasts. I'm Gerry Alcantara.
We are also seen in 1,360 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through www.untvweb.com. And this is Why News. Here are the headlines. PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa relieves policemen linked to illegal drug operations as narco-politicians are sent home after undergoing CIDG procedures.
The Supreme Court asks for President Rodrigo Duterte's justification for implicating 7 judges in illegal drugs operations. The court also sets to investigate implicated judges.
Meralco sets to cut down power rate charges this month.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines prepares for the burial of former President Ferdinand Marcos at the Libingan ng mga Bayani.
UNTV drone captures images of the extent of damage of the mining operations of the mountains in Santa Cruz, Zambales.
And the Philippines bags its first Olympic medal in 20 years.
First in the news, the Land Transportation Office, or LTO, has transferred impounded vehicles from its lot in Quezon City to Tarlac City. Joanano will tell us why.
The Land Transportation Officer LTO has started transferring impounded vehicles from its main office in Quezon City to an impounding area in Barangay San Isidro, Tarlac City. 9 of the more than 150 vehicles were included in the first batch that the LTO brought to the new impounding area. The LTO says the transfer will be done daily to alleviate congestion of impounded vehicles in the main office.
Hopefully, with yung distance nito, at saka yung hassle to come here, ayusin na nila yung mga sasakyan para kung may violation sila, hindi na ma-impound yung mga sasakyan nila.
The transfer is a big help to the LTO since it will now have enough space for newly apprehended vehicles from Quezon City. The LTO will transfer first vehicles which are still functional and can be driven, followed by those that need towing.
So they were given ample time to retrieve to pay the fines and get their motor vehicles.
The impounding area in Tarlac is an area of about 8,000 square meter. However, a big portion of the land still needs to be filled. Aside from vehicles coming from Metro Manila, the LTO will also bring to this impounding area towed vehicles from Region 3. Joan Nano, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Former Makati Mayor Junjun Binay pleaded not guilty to 11 charges over the controversial Makati City Hall parking building. Monokson will tell us why.
Former Makati Mayor Junjun Binay showed up at the Sandigan Bayan for his conditional arraignment so that the court can assume jurisdiction over him regarding his motion to travel abroad. He pleaded not guilty to 4 accounts of graft case, 1 malversation case, and 6 accounts of falsification of documents. The former Makati mayor filed a motion to travel from August 14 to 24 to seek for a second medical opinion from American experts regarding his daughter's disease. But the prosecution opposed the motion and said that there are many physicians in the country that can treat her daughter. The prosecution is wondering why is it only now that the former mayor wants to go out of the country, while the disease of his daughter was discovered back in 2013. The court has yet to decide on his motion. Meanwhile, 3 witnesses testified before the court for the continuation of the graft case against Senator Joseph Victor Ejercito in the 5th Division of the Sandigan Bayan. This is to prove the allegations against Senator JV that the Calamity Fund of San Juan City was used to purchase high-powered firearms in 2008. The witnesses testified that the Calamity Fund was used for the procurement of the firearms. The defense panel countered and said that the 5 million was the approved budget for the purchase of the firearms based on the city ordinance, but only 2.1 million was used. Senator JV said if he really wants to steal the 2 million pesos, they should have made the approved budget to 5 million pesos.
So far, I'm quite happy and I'm contented. No? Sana lang yung it's still the prosecution's time. So I'm quite confident, especially when the defense presents its case.
The prosecution has yet to present 6 more witnesses before the Sandigan Court. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Sandigan Bayan.
A mining company in Santa Cruz, Zambales, denies accusations that the soil used to fill the Scarborough Shoal came from their mining site. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
The statement of Zambales Governor Amor Deloso had created a ruckus when he said that the soil used to fill the Scarborough Shoal was from the mountain of Santa Cruz. Governor Deloso especially mentioned the mountains of Barangay Gisgis and Barangay Ginabon that had almost flattened.
Ang epekto noon, napatag ang bundok, 1,800 trees nawala. Ang ginawa nila, tinambak nila muna, pagdating ng tubig, bumaha, naanod, sabay ito, Santa Cruz, Zambales, destroying no less than 70 houses.
To confirm such report, UNTV went to the area which Governor Deloso mentioned to personally witness the damage done in the mountains and forests. Together with some local officials of Zambales, the team first checked on the mining area of LNL Archipelago Minerals Incorporated in Barangay Ginabon. Obvious destruction was seen from the main entrance as they needed to flatten the foot of the mountain to establish a main road for heavy equipment. According to Diody Soli, resident manager of Santa Cruz Nickel Mining Project Zambales, an affiliate of LNL Archipelago Minerals Incorporated, while it is true that the soil coming from their mining site was brought to China, he asserted that it was not brought to the Scarborough Shoal.
Almost all our shipment goes to China, and all of these shipments are before the shipment is undertaken, before it is loaded to the ship, we pay the excise tax to the BIR. Can you imagine yung lupa ang itatabon nila doon, which is madaling ano rin ng dagat yun, di ba? So supposed to be dapat yung nilalagay doon yung bato, para hindi mabubuhag yung kung itatambak nila doon sa dagat. No? So I don't think that there is truth to that.
But according to Governor Deloso, the mining company must prove the issue wrong.
There must be a trace ng documents. Mayroon ba silang Bureau of Customs permit? Mayroon ba sila dito sa Coast Guard permit? Because to bring out the minerals from Zambales for purposes of mining exportation, kailangan may trace of documents. Can they really prove that?
Aside from Santa Cruz Nickel Mining, the group also visited other mining companies in Zambales. This is the place which Zambales Governor Amor Deloso was referring to, where the soil that was excavated and brought to Scarborough Shoal. Using the UNTV drone, the group saw that the mountain almost flattened. The devastation of mining activities being operated by Ramen Minerals Incorporated and Benguet Corp was very clearly seen on the two mountains. Deloso added that approximately over 1,000 trees were destroyed in the area, including some species of endemic Mindoro pine tree. UNTV tried to reach Benguet Corp Nickel Mines Incorporated for their side of the issue, but their representatives refused to give interviews. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources suspends another mining operation in Bulacan. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources suspended another mining operation, making it the 7th one to date. 4 of them are in Zambales, 2 in Palawan, and the latest is the Ore Asia, which is in Doña Remedios, Trinidad. These operations did not comply with the standards of responsible mining. The DENR said these mining companies should replace the thousands of trees they have cut down and clean the rivers and areas that were polluted by their operations. Presently, the DENR is auditing 40 mining operations.
If you fly over that, the river is literally red. You know, they've cut 20,000 trees from the watershed.
The DENR is also investigating the expose done by Zambales Governor Amordiloso on the alleged selling of Philippine soil to China, which was brought as landfill to Scarborough Shoal. The Scarborough Shoal has only a distance of 124 nautical miles from Zambales. It is one of the places claimed by China in the West Philippine Sea as part of their 9-line rule, but it is still included in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Secretary Gina Lopez said activities in mining sites will be closely monitored by the department together with law enforcement agencies.
It's over. They can no longer do that anymore. I will not allow it to happen. It's illegal.
A memorandum of agreement was signed by DNR, DILG, DND, and DOTR in order to enforce the environmental laws in the country, especially ones that pertains to illegal fishing and illegal logging.
Bigirahin natin yung mga politicians na sangkot dyan sa illegal logging, illegal mining, illegal fishing.
Ray Pilayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Former President Fidel V. Ramos conducted a press briefing this afternoon before going to Hong Kong to rekindle ties tinted by the increased tension in the West Philippine or South China Sea. Ramos clarified that the purpose of his visit to Hong Kong as President Rodrigo Duterte's special envoy to China is not to negotiate or start the bilateral talks, but to rekindle the ties between the Philippines and China. Ramos will stay in Hong Kong for 4 to 5 days to meet his Chinese friends. Ramos did not give any details on what he will be discussing with his Hong Kong counterparts. The former president says he is an icebreaker after the arbitral tribunal released its favorable decision to the Philippines. In other news, the Manila Electric Company or Meralco will implement an 11 centavo per kilowatt-hour rate reduction this month. Joanano will tell us why.
The Manila Electric Company or Meralco has announced earlier today that they will implement 11 centavo per kilowatt-hour power rate reduction this August. This means that if a typical household is consuming 200 kilowatt-hour, there will be a 22 peso reduction on their electric bill. 33 pesos for every 300 kilowatt-hour, 43 pesos for 400 kilowatt-hour, and 54 pesos for every 500 kilowatt-hour consumption. According to Meralco, the said power rate reduction is due to a lower cost of generation charge and other charges imposed by the wholesale electricity spot market or WESM. But the electric company warns that there is a big possibility that power rates may increase in September. This is due to a series of yellow and red alert level in power supplies scheduled on the last part of July until the end of this month.
Kapag nagkakaroon ng mas maraming alert levels, merong pressure for prices to go up.
Currently, Meralco still cannot identify up to how much cost will be added on power rates next month.
There's pressure na for the prices, especially in the spot market, to go up, which will affect the September bill. Yung kailangan hintayin natin yung resulta ng buong buwan.
As of 10 o'clock a.m. today, there were 187 members of the Interruptible Load Program who committed to the load 357 megawatts of electricity in the event that power rate supply will be raised to red alert level. Meanwhile, more than 3,000 residents from marginalized community were provided with electricity after the DOE issued its order to prioritize poor in having access to electricity. Meralco targets to provide electricity to around 10,000 residents by the end of 2016. Joan Nano, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasig City.
Y News, we'll be right back. Motorists are now experiencing heavy traffic along EDSA northbound, particularly in Ayala Avenue to Shaw Boulevard. Mon Locson is at Delta Quezon Avenue. To tell us why, live. Go ahead, Mon.
Good evening, Diego. Many motorists driving in some major roads in Metro Manila are now stuck in heavy traffic. But first, let us check the traffic situation here in Delta Quezon Avenue. Motorists going in elliptical road from España Boulevard are now experiencing heavy traffic starting from Welcome Rotonda all the way in Santo Domingo and in G. Araneta. And here in the area of Quezon Avenue going to Elliptical Road are now experiencing moderate to heavy traffic starting here in West Avenue all the way in Elliptical Road going to Commonwealth area. Meanwhile, vehicles going westbound, especially those traversing here in Quezon Avenue, will not experience any traffic at all, starting from EDSA all the way here in West Avenue and also in G. Araneta. But traffic will build up starting from España all the way to Quezon Boulevard in Quiapo area in Manila. Let us check some live points. Let's check our live points in EDSA Guadalupe. As of this evening, all vehicles going to Buendia and in area of Ayala will experience moderate to heavy traffic. Meanwhile, vehicles going to Boni will experience also heavy traffic in EDSA Guadalupe as of this moment. Let us check the traffic situation in EDSA Tav. All vehicles coming from Heritage going to Taft will experience light to moderate traffic situation in EDSA Taft in Pasay. And from EDSA Taft going to Baclaran all the way to Coastal will experience moderate traffic situation in EDSA Taft Pasay going to Baclaran. Let us check the traffic situation in Muñoz to Balintawak area. Light traffic in northbound lane of Muñoz to Balintawak, but moderate to heavy traffic for vehicles coming from Balintawak area going to Muñoz, Quezon City. We remind all motorists to observe the traffic rules, especially number coding. All vehicles with plate numbers ending in number 3 and 4 is prohibited in all major roads in Metro Manila starting from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. tomorrow. But window hours is implemented in all areas in Metro Manila except in the city of Makati and Las Piñas. And that's our traffic update. Back to you, Diego.
Thank you for that report, Mon Locson, reporting live from Delta Quezon Avenue. The Philippine National Police has relieved 95 policemen from their post after President Rodrigo Duterte named them as being involved in illegal drug operations in the country. Lea Ilagan will tell us why.
Sana lalaki kayo kausap. Ha? Lalaki kayo kausap. After this, kung ma-implicate pa yung pangalan niyo, papatayin ko kayo. Ha? Papatayin ko kayo. Hindi ako mag-ngingiming sabihin yan. Pag ma-involve yung pangalan nyo, after this, nag-usap tayo. Papatayin ko kayo. Ha? Sobra yung ginagawa. Ayaw na ayaw ko yung pulis kasama sa droga. Andito tayo para magserbisyo. Hindi para mangulikta ng pera sa droga.
PNP Chief Police Director General Ronald De La Rosa was not able to control his temper when he saw 32 of the 95 policemen mentioned by President Duterte as linked to illegal drugs trade. From the 32, 15 were official and senior superintendent is the highest rank. 16 were non-commissioned officer and 1 a retiree. The Internal Affairs Service confirmed that they have been relieved from their post and likewise recommended to service firearms recall.
We have recommended that they will be assigned to the holding unit of the Philippine National Police. Sa administrative, this is grave misconduct.
Okay.
And then ang punishment dyan is can be up to dismissal from the service.
Okay.
Sa criminal, violation ng anti-illegal drugs law.
They were subjected for drug test. Meanwhile, CIDG Director Police Chief Superintendent Roel Obusan said at least 27 local government officials as well as 4 other officials, which include jail officer and soldier, will be sent home after they have given their respective judicial affidavits.
To conduct investigation, a thorough investigation for them to relate all things, all other circumstances, everything that they know about the illicit drug trade.
All LGU officials mentioned deny involvement in illegal drug operations in their areas of responsibility, including PNP Chief Shooting Body, Vice Mayor Otto Muntawal.
Sir, kilala mong pagkatao ko. Kilala mong pagkatao ko. Mag-best friend tayo mula't simula.
Alam nyo, yung parang saglit na yung dami ng panahon na inipon namin para mapangalagaan itong pangalan namin, sa isang saglit lang, parang nawala. Yung future ng aking mga anak.
Nabasa ni President Rodrigo Duterte yung pangalan ko, no, mistaken, no, yun pala yung kapatid ko. Masakit sa damdamin ko yung nangyari, no.
Meanwhile, the PNP will not release the number 2 drug lord in Central Visayas, named Franz Sabalones, who was surrendered by his vice mayor's sibling. General De La Rosa adds that he is very serious when it comes to the government's campaign against illegal drugs, and he promises not to cease even if it costs his own life. Leia Ilagan, UNTV News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
Some mayors who are included in President Rodrigo Duterte's list of personalities allegedly involved in the illegal drugs trade have reported to the Department of the Interior and Local Government today. Grace Casin will tell us why.
7 mayors and 1 vice mayor have reported to DILG Secretary Mike Sueno. These were included in the President's list of personalities allegedly involved in illegal drugs operations. All of them denied the accusations. San Rafael Bulacan Mayor Cipriano Goto Villago was feeling down when he appeared before Interior Secretary Mike Sueno, being one of those implicated by President Rodrigo Duterte who have been involved in illegal drugs operations in his town. He was accompanied by his legal counsel to Sueno's office, whom he expressed his disbelief over the issue. He decided to surrender right after he heard his name. Villago was the first to arrive in Camp Crame yesterday to clear his name.
At tinanong lang po kung willing akong magpa-imbestiga. Sabi ko, wala naman pong problema. Siyempre, kinakailangan para maging malinis yung pangalan ko.
Meanwhile, Maasin Iloilo Mayor Mariano Malones became emotional because the issue has brought strong impact to his family.
Hindi ko nga alam. That is the questions dapat sagutin rin nila. Bakit ako nasama doon? I'm open anytime. Sabi ko kay Secretary nga, ngayon na, umpisahan nyo na para matapos na kasi masira na eh.
According to Carles Iloilo Mayor Sigfredo Betita, the inclusion of his name in the list is politically motivated. He admits that there were some drug personalities who approached him, but he declined. Marawi City Vice Mayor Arafat Salik on his part said he is ready to submit himself to a lifestyle check to disapprove allegations that he is an illegal drug operator. Also surrendered were Hamtik Antique Mayor Julius Pacificador, Mabalacat Pampanga Mayor Eduardo Morales, Lauang Northern Samar Mayor Hector Ong, but they refused to grant media interview. Meanwhile, Secretary Sueno says the mayors who appeared before him today signed a waiver that their bank accounts and businesses will be investigated by the agency. As of now, they can function as mayor, but their authority to deputize will be taken away from them.
So they cannot select their own chief of police, neither can they supervise or give orders to the policemen. So at saka yung permits nila to carry licenses, permits nila to own guns or arms ay cancelled din. At saka they're not entitled to bodyguards anymore.
Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Metro Manila mayors should not be complacent just because they are not included in President Rodrigo Duterte's list of local government officials involved in illegal drug trade. Monokson tells us why.
Metro Manila mayors are not yet off the hook in President Rodrigo Duterte's list of government officials involved in illegal drug operations. Department of the Interior and Local Government Secretary Ismael Sueno said President Rodrigo Duterte is not yet finished with his revelations of the so-called narco-politicians in the country. At present, investigating agencies are still gathering evidence against Metro Manila officials being linked to illegal drugs.
Ang pagmintingan namin kung ano ang magawa namin immediately. Ang nasa list sa akin, yung 27 pa lang yung last week na in-announce niya sa cabinet meeting namin. Pero itong kahapon, bago yun. Nadagdagan ng mga judges, nadagdagan yung mga mayors. Pero tingin ko marami pang ano.
Meanwhile, some mayors have aired their reactions on the issue. In a text message, Valenzuela Mayor Rex Gatchalian said he supports the anti-drug initiative of the Duterte administration. Manila Mayor Joseph Estrada, on the other hand, released a statement saying there is nothing wrong with what President Duterte did of naming LGU executives linked in illegal drug trade. Meanwhile, Pasig City Vice Mayor Io Christian Bernardo denied that he is now acting on behalf of the mayor as the latter has allegedly left the country. It can be recalled that Mayor Eusebio denied in a press briefing allegations that President Duterte castigated him face-to-face for the rampant illegal drug problems in Pasig. For his part, Navotas Mayor John Ray Tiangco kept mum on the issue. On the other hand, Mayor Jaime Fresnedi of Muntinlupa is currently out of the country while San Juan Mayor Gia Gomez is out of town. Other Metro Manila mayors are still cannot be reached for comments. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue.
A number of congressmen urged their colleagues in the House of Representatives to submit themselves to drug tests following President Rodrigo Duterte's revelation of personalities allegedly involved in illegal drug operations. Nel Maribuhok tells us why.
Members of the lower house are ready to support President Rodrigo Duterte's campaign against illegal drugs. According to some congressmen, they are very much willing to undergo drug test if necessary.
Representante ang tawag sa iyo. So marapat lang naman siguro na dumaan ka sa iba't ibang pagsubok na hindi ina-apply sa iba. Ibig sabihin, dapat i-drug test lahat kung kinakailangan.
Just to show that we in Congress are also cooperating with the drug fight against drug.
Maybe we will discuss it with the House leadership if we can propose it with the majority, if the members of Congress are willing to submit themselves to a drug test.
Singson says congressmen who are in drug list mentioned by President Duterte should also explain their side on the issue, such as the case of Pangasinan Representative Jesus Celeste, who was named by President and now denies the allegation.
He knows what to do. He is a member of the House, so siguro pupunta siya sa kay Speaker and explain his side.
Meanwhile, Ilocos Norte Representative Rudy Fariña says the House has no custody over Celeste because the list mentioned that he was still a mayor. For this reason, Surigao del Norte Representative Robert Barbers has submitted a resolution urging all congressmen, legislative staff, consultants, officers, and employees of the lower house to submit themselves to mandatory drug testing.
I urge all the members now to let's have a drug testing today, if possible.
Based on the resolution, whoever is tested positive of illegal drugs will be penalized under the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
In other news, the Armed Forces of the Philippines is currently preparing for the burial of former President Ferdinand E. Marcos at the Libingan ng mga Bayani. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
Forces of the Philippines received yesterday the memorandum order from Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana for the hero's burial of former President Ferdinand E. Marcos at the Libingan ng mga Bayani. The memorandum order is in accordance with the verbal order of President Rodrigo Duterte on July 11, 2016 for the transfer of the remains of the former president to the Libingan ng mga Bayani. According to Director Arsenio Andolong, Chief Public Affairs Service and spokesperson of the Department of National Defense, they are the ones in charge of checking whether the regulations are being followed in line with the said burial of the former president.
Ngayon, yung nire-refute nila yung qualifications ng former president, it's there in the AFP regulations, a copy of which we provided you, as to who are eligible for interment. And dun sa apat na criteria, no, World War II veteran, former president, former Secretary of National Defense, dati siyang sundalo, qualified naman siya sa lahat.
There is no set date for the burial yet. Some groups are trying to block this directive. Based on the statement of Vice President Leni Robredo, it is possible that this move will deepen the wounds of the human rights victims. Senator Franklin Drilon would like President Duterte to reconsider or study his decision once again. Some congressmen, on the other hand, support the plan of the Duterte administration.
Of course, we share the sentiment that he should be buried there because Marcos was a former president of the country.
Kung ang kwalifikasyon lamang ay pagiging isang sundalo ng bansang Pilipinas noong Second World War at wala ng ibang kwalifikasyon na hinihingi ang ating batas, kwalifikado.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Camp Aguinaldo.
The southwest monsoon is now affecting Luzon and the Visayas. Rosalie Coz is in Quezon City to tell us why.
Good evening. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration or PAG-ASA says the southwest monsoon or locally called hanging habagat will bring rains over Luzon and Visayas. Cloudy skies with moderate to occasionally heavy rains and thunderstorms will be experienced over Metro Manila, Ilocos Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, Calabarzon, and over the provinces of Zambales, Bataan, and Mindoro. Cloudy skies with light to moderate rains and thunderstorms will prevail over Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, and the rest of Luzon. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms are expected over the rest of Mindanao. Tomorrow's forecast says temperature in Metro Manila may reach up to 31 degrees Celsius, Baguio City at 16 to 20 degrees Celsius, Puerto Princesa at 31 degrees Celsius, while the hottest may be recorded in Tuguegarao at 33 degrees Celsius. In Visayas, temperature in Metro Cebu may reach up to 32 degrees Celsius. Iloilo and Bacolod City at 32 degrees Celsius and Tacloban City at 32 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, in Mindanao, Metro Davao may reach up to 33 degrees Celsius, Cagayan de Oro City at 32 degrees Celsius, Valencia City at 28 degrees Celsius, and Zamboanga City at 32 degrees Celsius. The State Weather Bureau says expect rainy days ahead and always take precautionary measures against possible flash floods and strong winds. That's our latest weather update. Back to studio.
Thank you for that report, Rosalie Coz from Quezon City.
Y News, we'll be right back. On his first privileged speech at the Senate earlier, Senator Manny Pacquiao insists on reimposing the death penalty for heinous crimes. Joyce Balancho will tell us why.
Wala tayong dapat ikatakot sa death penalty dahil ito ay para lamang sa mga taong walang habas gumawa ng karumal-dumal na krimen. Sa death penalty for drug traffickers, kakampi po natin dito sino mang Juan de la Cruz. At lahat ng Pilipino na sumusunod sa batas at gumagalang sa karapatan ng kanyang kapwa.
Senator Manny Pacquiao stressed in his first privilege speech the need for reimposition of the death penalty. He said illegal drug operations has been one of the biggest and most alarming issues hounding our country, and there is urgency to address the problem. He said when he was still young, he personally witnessed how drug problems resulted in crimes against women, minors, and others. Pacquiao stressed bringing back death penalty is lawful, for it was not totally abolished by the Constitution and is also moral, stating there is biblical basis for it. He said it is high time that heinous crimes against humanity be punished justly. When asked what form of penalty he prefers, Pacquiao said he is in favor of hanging and firing squad. Few senators, however, expressed disagreement to Pacquiao's pronouncements. Former Commission on Human Rights Chair Senator Laila de Lima raised some concerns.
Or to minimize the reduction of crime, especially the heinous crimes. Then if that is the objective, then should it be the proper approach is to put in or to propose measures that will truly come up with more effective law enforcement.
Senator Gringo Honasan, on the other hand, proposes repair of institutions whose main mandate is law enforcement.
Ma-repair natin para pag nataas natin yung sahod ng pulis, nadagdagan natin yung bilang nila at nalagyan ng mga matitinok na pinuno, wala na silang dahilan para magpapaya. We have to repair damaged institutions so that we can impose the true spirit of the law, the protection of life, liberty, and property.
Senator Tito Soto, Joel Villanueva, Senator Risa Hontiveros, among others, also took their time to comment on the issue. Senator Risa Hontiveros said death penalty is a violation of human rights. Senator Tito Soto maintained that Senate must carefully study the matter and must look into how other countries implement death penalty. Senator Manny Pacquiao, who remains firm all throughout the interpellation, remains firm that the imposition of death penalty is the solution on the pressing problems on drugs, but has expressed openness to apply it to other heinous crimes. The session ended with Senate President Coco Pimentel referring the matter to the Committee on Public Order and Justice. Joyce Balancho, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
The fare increase for Manila Light Rail Transit Line 1 or LRT-1 will be discussed this week. Yoshiko Sata is in Quezon City to tell us why, live. Go ahead, Yoshiko.
The 10% fare hike increase for the Light Rail Transit Line 1 or LRT-1 is set to be discussed by the Department of Transportation or DOTR and the Light Rail Manila Corporation or LRMC. Under the concession agreement signed by the two parties, there should have been a 10% fare increase by August 1 this year. According to DOTR spokesperson Gerry Mercado, the department respects the contract. However, the government still wants to negotiate for the sake of the commuters. She revealed that the initial talk between DOTR and LRMC, led by Metro Pacific Investments Corporation and Ayala Corporation, is already set this week. DOTR assures the public that there won't be any fare hike until the government begins the talk with the stakeholders of LRT-1. And that's the update here. Back to you, Diego.
Thank you for that report, Yoshiko Sata, reporting live from Quezon City. Serbisyong Kasangbahay, in cooperation with the Rotary Club of Roses, assisted a grandmother who came to the program to seek help for a grandchild suffering from biliary atresia. Jun Soria will tell us why.
Another case of biliary atresia was brought to the attention of the program Serbisyong Kasangbahay. Biliary atresia is an ailment common among infants in which bile ducts are found to be underdeveloped. Rosalie Kayanga of Payatas, Quezon City sought assistance from the program for the operation of her 6-month grandchild with biliary atresia. Doctors say that infant must undergo liver transplant before it reaches 1 year old.
Ano po ba kamahal ang ganong klaseng operasyon?
Malaki nga po, attorney. Mahirap lang din po naman kami. Hindi po namin kakayanin.
through Serbisyong Kasangbahay. Rosalie's problem was brought to the Rotary Club of Roses, one of the program's partners in its advocacy of helping our fellow men.
Medyo malaki talaga yung fund na kakailanganin. So hindi isang club lang ang hihinga natin para mapa-opera natin yung bata. Isang hospital na pwedeng operahan dito, pwede tayo makipag-coordinate doon para humingi tayo ng discount. And kung magkano yung kukulangin, yun nire-release na fund ng mga Rotarian.
Jun Suriao for Serbisyong Kasangbahay.
Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan addresses a rally of more than 1 million people in Istanbul. Meanwhile, Thais say yes to a new constitution. Nunez will tell us why.
In Thailand, Thai voters on Sunday have approved a new draft constitution that lays the foundation for a junta-backed civilian government. The near-final results show that more than 60% of voters approved of the constitution, and 58% agreed to give 250 senators picked by the junta, or the National Council for Peace and Order, the power to elect a prime minister, along with 500 elected members of the House of Representatives. Thailand's Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, leader of the National Council of Peace and Order, said he is disappointed with foreign intervention in the kingdom's political transition, as the United States and the EU have been critical of the military junta's suppression of campaigning during the referendum. As the count got underway, it was soon apparent that Thais had voted yes to the draft constitution. In Syria, the United States Department of Defense released footage on Saturday that purports to show coalition airstrikes on Islamic State targets in Syria. The strikes were conducted on July 13 on militants' fighting position near Manbij, Syria, the Combined Joint Task Force said. U.S.-backed forces trying to oust Islamic State militants from the Syrian city of Manbij took almost complete control of the city on August 6, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said. The official spokesman of the SDF-allied Manbij Military Council, Sherfan Darwish, said that battles were continuing, but that around 90% of the city had now been cleared of the ultra-hardline Sunni militants. In Turkey, more than 1 million Turks gathered in Istanbul on Sunday for a rally called by President Tayyip Erdogan to denounce a failed coup, a show of strength staged in the face of Western criticism of widespread purges and detentions. The, quote, democracy and martyrs rally, unquote, at the Yenikapi parade ground marks the climax of 3 weeks of nightly demonstrations of Erdogan supporters. It was the first time in decades that major opposition parties joined a rally in support of the government in the nation of almost 80 million. Erdogan has vowed to rid Turkey of the network of US-based cleric Fethullah Gulen, whose followers in the security forces, judiciary, and civil service he accuses of orchestrating the attempted power grab and of plotting to overthrow the state. Gulen, an ally of Erdogan in the early years after his Islamist-rooted AK party took power in 2002, denies the charges and has denounced the coup. Ann Nunez, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Hidilyn Diaz gave honor to the Philippines at the 2016 Rio Olympics. David Tirao will tell us why.
Filipina Hidilyn Diaz has ended the 20 years of the Philippine Olympic medal drought by bagging the weightlifting silver in the Rio Olympic Games.
Diaz won the first medal for the Philippines at the Rio Olympics. The 25-year-old bagged the silver medal in the 53 kilograms women's division of the weightlifting event. Diaz was able to lift the 88 kilograms of snatch and 112 kilograms in the clean and jerk, garnering a total of 200 kilograms. Diaz came second to Ho Shi-Ching of Taiwan, who garnered a combined score in both snatch and clean and jerk of 212 kilograms. Came third was Korean Yoo Jin-Hoo, who bagged the bronze medal. The Rio Games is Diaz's third Olympics. She joined her first in 2008 in Beijing after qualifying as wildcard entry. So far, the Philippines has only 9 players left standing in the competition. The first batch of players had an early exit, includes Ian Lariba in table tennis, Jessie King Lacuna in swimming, and Charlie Suarez in boxing.
The last time the Philippines won an Olympic medal was in 1996, during the Atlanta Olympics when Onyok Velasco finished and secured the silver medal in boxing. Dave Tirao, UNTV News and Rescue, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Meanwhile, Zamboanga City plans to give Filipino Olympic silver medalist Hidilyn Diaz a hero's welcome. Victor Cosare will tell us why.
Zamboanga City is arranging a hero's welcome for Zamboanga City native Hidilyn Diaz for winning a silver medal in the Rio Olympics. Diaz ranked second in the 53-kilogram division of the women's weightlifting competition. On Monday, a parade will be held before the flag-raising ceremony in the Municipal Hall celebrating Hidilyn's triumph.
She will be receiving on the part of the local government 500,000. But I think that amount is beyond what she has given to our country, and we're very thankful to God.
Some of her friends sketched the image of Hidilyn, which they showed to the media as their gift for her. For his part, Hidilyn's father, Eduardo Diaz, is still in awe of his daughter's achievement.
Sabi yun, take one lang le, bronze lang. Kaparan tira berman, masalay kriya yun.
Hidilyn mentioned that she offered her success to God first and second to her mother, who celebrated her birthday on Sunday. Malacanang extended its congratulations to Diaz for giving honor to the country. Diaz will receive 5 million pesos from the national government for winning the silver medal. Meanwhile, although he was not able to win a medal, the local government of Zamboanga City likewise has extended its congratulatory greetings to another Zamboangueño Olympian, Nestor Colonia. Colonia failed to lift the 154-kilogram for the third time in the clean and jerk category of the men's 56-kilogram class. Because of Diaz's success, the local government of Zamboanga City is hoping that the city sports facility will be improved to encourage more Filipino athletes to pursue their dreams. Victor Cosare, UNTV News and Rescue.
Locals and foreigners alike lauded the lighting of the Olympic cauldron inside the Maracana Stadium, as well as the other Olympic cauldron set up by Rio's local government at the city center. In an effort to attract more people during the Olympic Games, Rio's local government has renovated the 3-kilometer-long Olympic Boulevard in the city and set up the Olympic cauldron right there. The setting up of an additional cauldron has given many people, especially those who were unable to make it to the stadium, an opportunity to witness the Olympic flame throughout the Rio Games. Residents said the boulevard used to be ugly, dirty, and dangerous before the renovation, but it has now turned into a beautiful tourist destination. Drones fill the sky in New York City as competitors gear up for the second annual National Drone Racing Championship. Meanwhile, China launches its first mobile telecom satellite. Aaron Romero will tell us why.
The skies of New York City were abuzz at the onset of second annual U.S. National Drone Racing Championships held on the city's Governor's Island. The race attracted dozens of drone pilots who were practicing ahead of the weekend's competition. The 4 different categories were drone, freestyle, wing, and 5-team. Winners will represent the U.S. in the 2016 World Drone Racing Championships set to be held in Hawaii in October. Meanwhile, China successfully launched the first satellite for its mobile telecommunications system. Satellite Tiantong-1 was launched with the Long March 3B carrier rocket at 0:22 Beijing time at Southwest China's Xinjiang Satellite Launch Center. It is the first satellite for China's satellite mobile telecom system, a key part of the country's space information infrastructure. More geostationary satellites will be sent into the orbit for the system. Tiantong-1 was designed by the China Academy of Space Technology, and its ground service will be operated by the China Telecom, which will set up a mobile network with ground facilities to provide services to China, the Middle East, Africa, and other areas. Aaron Romero, UNTV News and Rescue, New York.
Fashion model and television personality Jodie Kidd thinks the annual 12-hour lawnmower marathon in West Sussex, England is a great initiative. Precious Ong tells us why.
Model Jodie Kidd was the official race starter of the 12-hour lawnmower race 2016 in the English village of Five Oaks. 43 teams lined up for the highlight of the lawnmower event of the year in West Sussex. The annual 12-hour endurance race, with the winning entry completing 415 laps of the 1.41-kilometer circuit. Kidd said she thought the race was a great initiative.
I think it's a fantastic way of getting into motorsport, whether you're doing go-karts or whether you're racing your lawnmower. As you said, it's inexpensive. It's a way of getting your foot in the door and starting young. You know, it's so lovely seeing all.
The race was started by Kidd at 8 p.m. on Saturday when she lowered the flag, to the delight of the 1,000-plus racegoers who came along to see the spectacle. 12 hours of racing is hard enough, but the majority of the race is completed in darkness, which makes it technically more of a challenge, with each team fielding 3 drivers who swap around to combat fatigue. Weather also plays an important part in the race. For the 4th time in succession, Northerners kick grass Mark Rostron, James Pauly, and veteran racer Darren Daz Whitehead were the winning team this year. Precious Ong, UNTV News and Rescue.
Those are the reasons behind the news, August 8, 2016. I'm Angelo Castro III.
Reasons we delivered to you as they unfold. I'm Gerry Alcantara.
Because we need to know. We will always ask why. Thank you for watching Y News.